Today we are making key lime pie. First things first, we need a pie crust. If you want to buy a pre-made graham cracker crust, I will not judge you, go for it. Today I am going to make one from scratch, however, with a little bit of a twist. I'm borrowing this recipe from Alex G. I don't want to butcher her last name, so I'm not going to. We're just going to stick with Alex G. We need to preheat our oven to 350 degrees and grease a 9-inch pie plate. I'm going to take some butter on a paper towel and just wipe it around the bottom and sides of my pie plate. Make sure you get the corners. We're gonna set that aside. And we need 1.5 cups of graham cracker crumbs. And you'll notice that mine are a little darker because I'm using Biscoff cookies today. How will it turn out? We'll find out. 1.5 cups, along with 1/4 cup of sugar, 4 tablespoons or half a stick of butter melted, and 6 light grates of lemon zest. That's such a small amount, it didn't even come off my zester. Literally a pinch of lemon zest. Mix that together. Dump that into your pie plate. It should look like wet sand when it's ready. Press it into an even layer into the bottom and up the sides. Okay, close up any holes or cracks that you make. It's gonna be a little rustic and that's okay. We're going to pop this into our oven for 10 to 12 minutes or until the crust firms up and gets a light golden brown. Biscoff cookies are a little darker to begin with, but you will notice a very slight color change. All right, pie crust is done. We need to let this cool. While that is cooling, I want to get the rest of our ingredients assembled. This is a key lime pie, so we're gonna need limes. Now, this recipe doesn't say you need key limes. Key limes do have a little bit of a different flavor profile to them compared to traditional limes. If you cannot get key limes, this will still be okay. You can make it with non-key lime limes, but today we are doing key limes. These are tiny. These are like the size of a golf ball. So we're going to be doing a lot of zesting and a lot of juicing because we need 2 tablespoons of lime zest and 3/4 of a cup of lime juice. But I'm not going to make you watch all of that. I highly recommend getting a juicer, even if it's a handheld one, because your grip strength will be tested juicing all of those limes. I needed the zest of about 7 of my limes, and I used all but 1 of my limes for juice. So I think I used maybe 17 of my little limes for juice. So remember, our oven is preheated to 350. Now it's time for the filling. In a medium bowl, we need to combine 2 cups of sweetened condensed milk. Read 2 cups, not 2 cans, 2 cups. We have a half cup of sour cream, 3/4 of a cup of lime juice. I'm going to strain mine just because I know there's some seed pieces and some pith in there, so I'll just strain it just to be safe. And then 2 tablespoons of lime zest. The zest is so important. This is where the lime oil lives, and that's where that flavor really comes from. Let's mix that all together. All right, once that's smooth, we can pour it into our pie crust. We're going to bake this for 20 to 22 minutes or until it is somewhat firm in the center. Okay, my research shows you want it to be set around the edge and a little jiggly in the middle, and so I'm doing my best. We need to let this cool completely and then we'll give it a taste test. What do you think? I think she looks great. I took a little bit of leftover lime zest, sprinkled that over the top, and I took a couple of really thin lime slices and placed those on top as well, just because key lime pie has a little bit of a yellow color to it, and so I like the green that the limes and the lime zest brings back to the display of our pie. And then I also made homemade whipped cream just with a hand mixer or in a stand mixer, or I used my small but mighty immersion blender with a whisk attachment. Whisk 1 cup of whipping cream, 1 tablespoon of white sugar, and 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract until you get, I do stiff peaks, which just means whip it until it's the consistency of whipped cream that you're used to. And we will serve our key lime pie with a little bit of whipped cream. Additionally, Alex, her recommendation was that leftover sweetened condensed milk that we had, put that in a saucepan on the stove, simmer that slowly until it turns to caramel, and you can serve that with the whipped cream, or you can drizzle that over your key lime pie if you want to give that a go. I didn't, but it's just an option for you guys if that piques your interest. So let's go ahead and give this key lime pie a taste test. Take a dollop of homemade whipped cream. I'd say that looks pretty darn good. Now for the moment of truth. I'm going to take a bite without whipped cream first because I want to see how sweet this is, because that was a lot of sweetened condensed milk, but we had a lot of lime juice to offset the sweetness. That lime zest, chef's kiss. You absolutely need that lime zest. That tang, but it's creamy. It's really not too sweet. And I think the Biscoff Cookie crust goes really well with it. So let's take a bite with the whipped cream now. The whipped cream was recommended to cut a little bit of that sweetness if it is sweeter than you would prefer. That's good. That reminds me of a frozen key lime pie. If you've ever had a frozen key lime pie yogurt pie, frozen key lime pie yogurt pie. That's what that tastes like. Delicious.